what a programmer does on a day-to-day. He doesn't just go to the system, open his editor and type coding. No, that's not the only job. He has so many other things to do. When you want to become a programmer, what are they? What do you need to know? Is it only about coding? Coding is essential. Coding is unavoidable. Without coding skill, you cannot be a programmer. And what else? You should be able to understand what the requirement is. This part is very important when you are developing an application. Right? Okay, you know coding and you know how to write functions, you know how to write classes and objects. Great. But now, where many people fail is understanding the requirement. Why? It is because you assume too many things. Right? So assumption is the biggest enemy or culprit of any programmer. Do not assume. Number one point, do not assume. Ask for clarification or ask for their consent. Yes, is this right? Is this what I'm thinking? Do you agree with me, or do you have anything else in your mind? Ask your team leader, ask your senior engineer, or ask your customer, ask your product owner, whatnot, right? So first of all, make sure that you clarify everything that you think / assume is what the customer thinks. All right? Now, what does a programmer do? He first clarifies all his questions about the requirement. Let's say you are a newbie, you are a new joinee as a programmer, passed out of your college directly into a corporate or a startup. So you are given a task of, okay, can you write the module for calculator application? Oh, okay, I know, I've been doing it from my graduation, now I can do it very quickly. You directly go and start jumping into your coding because you know it already. Yes, that's the mistake. That's the very first mistake that you're doing. Okay, so yes, so when I say that's the mistake, yes, that is a mistake. You are not supposed to go directly and write calculator application. Is the calculator that you are thinking same as your team leader he or she has asked you to do? What is a module? So what is the input to the module? What is the output that is expected? Are they expecting user interface? Are they expecting API? What is the output format that they are expecting? What is the output interface that they are expecting? And what is the input? Is it a basic calculator? Is it an advanced calculator? Or is it very specific to your organization or customer need? What kind of data is going to come in? Are you going to deal with only the integers or only the float, or what kind of data type is your calculator going to deal with? And how many digits are you supposed to provision? Is it just a maximum 10 digits or maximum 20 digits? What's the largest number that your calculator should show? Who will ask all these questions? As a developer, as a programmer, as an engineer, it's your responsibility. Alright, so now when you want to become a programmer, assume not, clarify everything. That's the first step, right? Hope you have understood. Now, what is the next thing? Build knowledge, continuously build knowledge. Many good successful programmers have been learning every day. Either you learn from your peer or you learn from your SME, from any instance, from anything around you, you can learn about programming, about software engineering. Those are the people who grow. Those are the people who enjoy the journey of a programmer. Those who learn. Right? So continuously build your knowledge. So the module example, your team leader has come to you and asked you to write a module about a calculator. Did you ever ask what programming language should I be using? Do you know where it is going to be deployed? Is it going to be deployed on Windows, Linux or Mac or elsewhere on embedded systems? Alright, so maybe you know Python, you know C++, you know Java. But what if the customer asks is only to be run as in the browser, not at all as a backend application? Then what do you do? right? Your assumption of writing this application in Java is not going to be applicable. So when you ask that from following the step 1 of do not assume, ask for clarity, then in step 2, let's say the team leader has come to you and said, okay, we are going to build this in JavaScript, and you do not know JavaScript. What's the next thing you do? Okay, I learned JavaScript. Once you know fundamentals of one programming language deep enough, then you can learn any other programming language. So second one is build knowledge continuously. That increase your skill set every day. Step number 3. As you start coding, right, the coding is part of your job. More and more you spend on reviewing the code. Right? At one point in time, you will hardly write code. Instead, you will spend more of your time reviewing someone else's code. Now, internet is available to everybody, anybody, and code is available. Now you see the coming up with ChatGPT or GitHub Copilot. Code can be written by automated bots, isn't it? I mean, who gives you the logic, right? Who gives the framework? Who gives the design? It is still the engineer, isn't it? Now, therefore, you are about to learn how to design. Alright, so you are going to give how to design the software. Okay, so the module, right, going back to the calculator module. Now, what is the design of it? Is it set of 4 functions, add, sub, multiplication, division? Yeah, that's also one design, undeniable, but is that good enough? So next step is learn the designing and then start understanding the existing design. How do you understand that? By reviewing the existing code. When you review the existing code that is being written by seniors, you would understand that, okay, what is the design? I am not able to follow. Why did they inherit this class from this to this class? Why did they compose to another object into this? Yes, those are the questions that will arise when you review the code. The review of your code could be of your own product, or it could be from internet. When you review the code, that gives you the design of existing product, so that there is a less chances that you deviate from the design and you would create a different design which is not in line with the existing design, and your module is not going to be useful to anybody. Right? So the step 3 is review code, read code, and give review comments. Ask your seniors if something is not clear. So that's the step 3. Next, communicate, collaborate. Yes, communicate, collaborate. As step 1 is also imposes on do not assume but clarify. How do you do that? By continuously communicating and collaborating. We always assume things. We always think that he knows or she knows, then why should I explicitly tell that? No, there's nothing wrong explicitly stating it. That gives the detail of your thought process. It will be appreciated. So communicate with your peers, your team leader or your project leader, your product managers, customers, communicate. While you are writing your piece of module, and when you're talking about design, and when you're talking about choosing the language or writing the code, collaborate. Collaborate with others. Your SMEs, your team leads, collaborate. So it's an unavoidable trait that you should have. The next, possess the quality mindset. Quality mindset. You cannot compromise on quality. See, this quality mindset and the step 1 of do not assume or go hand in hand. The more you get clarity of the requirement, the better the quality of your output. Your end product is going to be amazing when your assumptions are eliminated, assumptions are clarified, because you will match with the requirements. You design and you write code according to the requirements. Right? So quality mindset is essential in all these phases. In assumptions too, do not assume about quality. In design, do not assume. In peer review, code review, do not assume. Communication and collaboration, do not assume. So quality plays in every stage of this development. Quality is not something that comes at the end of development. No. Okay, I test my application, I'm done. No. You test your design, you test your requirements. Right? So quality is another important thing without which we can never deliver a product. The next step, documentation. Writing piece of code, okay, 4 lines of code, 100 lines of code, document about it, right? Describe your code as comments and then describe your design in a document, so that you also have clarity while you are designing and developing, and then others, and you will not be working on one single component for your lifetime, isn't it? So you will switch products, you will switch companies, therefore it is important to document. If your predecessor has not documented about your product, what is that you can do? Do you just read the code and then continue to evolve the product? No, that's not going to be possible. You need to have documentation. So it is every programmer's responsibility to document what they have been doing. So document it. Cumulatively, you become a software programmer, software engineer. All these steps involve in a day-to-day life of a software programmer.